Glad you're back with us, Mobius 1. Let's get to it. Free Arusha rebel forces have started making noise again. When the Circum-Pacific War ended, the world's military forces were turned on their heads, giving the rebels access to both plenty of weapons and funding. Over the past few years, they've gone from an unsophisticated terrorist group to an increasing global threat. Usia's still rebuilding under the IUN. We cannot allow war to break out again. That's why I put in the request to have you assigned to the newly established IUNPF. That look in your eyes tells me you haven't lost it. That's what I hoped. Free Arusha has commenced with activities all around the continent. They cannot be allowed to expand their forces. That's where you come in, Mobius 1. Let's begin the briefing. The Payton Peninsula radar site to the northwest of us here at Fort Grays has picked up a number of unidentified aircraft. They've ignored all warnings from the IUNPF and are making their way towards our base. As the IUN has air traffic control over all of Usia, we're almost certain the crafts belong to the Free Arusians. You guys will scramble immediately, visually identify the aircraft, and then use your radios to order them to land. If attacked, you have permission to engage them in combat. Waste no time destroying them. Mobius 1, Omega 11, I want you to head to that airspace and locate the enemy. Thanks to your efforts, the unidentified aircraft was taken down. You've helped us make it clear that it belonged to Free Arusha. I have some guys looking into the enemy's motivations. I'm afraid it's looking like things could get pretty ugly. For now, Mobius looks to have delayed the enemy's plans. We need a closer eye on the enemy's movements, and you should be ready to move out at any moment. Let's get on with the briefing. 18th 16th Bomber Squadron is almost here. However, we got a report of what seemed to be Free Arusian aircraft approaching them. Air intercept is at the squadron's ETA. Your mission is to ensure our air superiority around the base and to protect the bombers. As of now, we cannot tell whether they're after the bombers or this base. Be ready to take on anything thrown at you. Ground troops affiliated with Free Arusha have invaded the area. Schofield's plot-based defense has requested CAS. They must be after the airfield. It's of extreme strategic importance and must be defended at all costs. You'll all head out there immediately to provide close air support and destroy the threat. Thanks to you, the base is in a far better state than it would have been. A major operation both in the air and on the ground is not something Free Arusha could manage in previous battles. But our base held in the face of danger. We will make this the turning point of the war. In other words, we're going to make them regret they couldn't finish this off here and now. Dismissed. Thanks to your close air support, the Free Arusians were repelled from Schofield's Platte base. We got intel on their plans to transport a WMD. Enemy transport is currently flying above the Waiapolo Mountains. HQ's orders are to capture it. If we can get war crime evidence, we could suppress Free Arusha's activities. At the beginning of the mission, we will approach the transport while attempting radio contact. We will force their landing. Our objective is to capture the plane, but we can shoot it down if the situation goes south. Keep that in mind. An IUPF reconnaissance plane picked up a signal from an unidentified aircraft around the Waiapolo Mountains in the center of the continent. However, it was lost soon afterwards, along with the reconnaissance plane signal. Waiapolo is thick with clouds, so naturally, visibility will be poor. So be extra cautious out there. Free Arusha's plan was a fake. The fact that we took minimal damage and struck a serious blow to their stealth power is a testament to the Mobius Squadron's skills. But if this was a diversion, what was their true objective? The war with Free Arusha may have entered a new phase. Be on standby. For now, we got rid of the ghosts, but don't expect them to lie down and rest in peace. They'll be back. Not even member nations of the IUPF have been able to gather intel on them, which is how they got the nickname Ghost Squadron. Unfortunately, the reconnaissance craft was found in pieces. But at least your hard work has eliminated the threat to the airspace. We walked right into the enemy's trap. But on the plus side, at least the enemy's air stealth capabilities took a hit. A fuel base believed to belong to Free Arusha has been discovered in Roca Roja. Over the past few days, numerous vehicles have been going in and out of that base, and it looks like they're loading it up with fuel. I want you to hit the enemy base hard and destroy all fuel reserves. A large group of aircraft would be detected and give the enemy time to counter, making the operation too risky. To catch the enemy off guard, you'll be flying in solo. Go in at low altitude and make sure you swiftly take them out. It won't be easy, but there's no one better suited for the mission. It's in your hands, Mobius 1. The fuel storage base was eliminated. The threat to our air superiority has been eliminated, at least for now. Okay, listen up. We have an emergency. Things have taken a turn for the worst. A number of Arusha's regular forces have broken off and joined Free Arusha. The aircraft carriers Ron and Hrone of the Arusian Navy's 3rd Fleet, along with many of the ships that make up their carrier strike groups, are now en route and planning to join the rebel army. There's been a report that while Hrone was calling at the port of Axel Bay, it struck its marine facilities hard before setting sail. Ron, which had set sail on naval exercises from a port in the Scully Islands, has now declared its allegiance to Free Arusia. The ships look to meet in the Spring Sea to the west of the Scully Islands. Before heading to join Free Arusia together, the IUN fears the consequences of them uniting would likely be devastating and set a dangerous precedent. Go to the ship's rendezvous point immediately and attack. Stop their plan from becoming a reality. Expect strong resistance from the Aegis vessels and carrier-based fighters. It's going to be rough out there. We're counting on you, Mobius 1. We managed to keep those Free Arusian bastards in check. Great work out there. The ships that broke away from the Arusian Navy have been successfully dealt with. As such, we've avoided a worst-case scenario by denying Free Arusian carrier strike groups. Let's just say those in the Arusian army trying to bargain with Free Arusia have been taught a valuable lesson. Free Arusians have engaged in military operations and invaded the harbor city of Anchorhead Bay. They have their eyes on the submarine Kraken, which is loaded with strategic missiles and currently idle and waiting in the harbor. They're probably trying to compensate for their lack of numbers by acquiring ballistic missile capabilities. At present, 2 defense forces are engaging the enemy, both north and south of the city. However, their priority is evacuating citizens, so their ability to counter is limited, with attacks coming from both the surface and the air. He is now in custody. Still, for now at least, Arusia is at peace once more. The Anchorhead Bay defense mission was a success, and the submarine is safe. The gamble Free Arusia took in throwing all of their remaining forces into combat didn't pay off, and they're significantly weakened. They don't have enough power to mount any further large-scale attacks. We determined that the Kraken sub's captain, Freddie Crofts, was communicating in secret with the Free Arusians. As such, you'll need to use your eyes as well as your radar. Be careful out there, but you're the only one we can count on. Make us proud, Mobius 1. Glad you made it back in one piece. Let's get to it. I want you to provide them with support. You need to eliminate all enemy aircraft and secure air superiority. It's safe to assume that the Free Arusians are behind this. It's time for your briefing. Judging from the scale of the operation, we expect the enemy to ramp up their war efforts in the coming days. Let's begin the briefing. Let's start the briefing. Mobius 1, takeoff prep complete. So, we have to act quickly. Sortie ASAP. The actions of Free Arusia have been stealthily infiltrated far and wide. So this is going to mean that our jobs aren't over just yet. The aircraft that provided support are part of the enemy's elite force. Their fighters have dealt serious damage to our allies in each region. The enemy's using multiple units from all over, so the defense force at the base is in quicksand and sinking fast. The Arusian army sent us an official letter of thanks. Unfortunately, we don't have a handle on all enemy unit locations. We can't take Free Arusia's arrogance lying down. Mobius 1, teach them a lesson in manners. We lost 2nd Lieutenant Van Quang Nguyen's radar signal and are still searching for him and his aircraft. We need to do all we can to take out a threat of a large-scale attack on the continent. When you find them, rest assured that they won't be looking to shake hands. So stay sharp and watch out for enemy attacks. With it, they'll have air superiority over the entire area. That cannot be allowed to happen. With Usha still undergoing restoration, the IUN is concerned another war may be on the horizon. You should be proud of yourself, Mobius 1.